Well, if you're a Ghanaian, you certainly are familiar with that picture that you just saw. Well, guess who I have here in the studio? Grammy Award nominee Rocky Dawuni. He is my guest for today. Rocky, it's good to have you. How are you?
Oh, I'm so honored to be here. How are you doing too?
I'm not too bad at all.
Beautiful.
So, how has it been for you?
Well, I'm so happy. Actually, it's my birthday today, so.
Oh, is it? Oh, Anymore just said, behind the camera.
So.
Oh, maybe I should sing you a happy birthday.
Oh, I would totally. That would be. that would be incredible. As a musician, I've been in the studio. I've just been, having a great time. Being back home, and just being on the ground too, and focusing on being creative. And then also, observing, this year because of the crisis that is going on. So when it comes to our profession, there's not a lot that is going on. Most musicians are, you have to then channel your energies into what will be productive, during that space of time, So
let's talk about a little bit about your birthday, yes. By the way. How old does that make you?
I think people just got to go and then calculate that.
No, I mean, I've known the name.
I'm young. I'm young. That's
how
all.
Young? How young are you?
I'm pretty young.
55?
You're prodding a little bit.
55?
Oh no, not there.
60?
Early. No.
40?
No. I would say 50. Yeah, 50. Early 50. Yeah.
Early 50.
Yeah, early 50.
Oh, yeah, congratulations!
Yeah, thank you.
Anyway, so you were talking about COVID-19 and the crisis you've had back there. First of all, let's talk about your life.
Yes.
How did your life start here in Ghana, and where you've been and back?
Well, as they say, everything there's always humble beginnings for every story. Everybody has a kind of an inception point, Mine began, I was born in a military barracks in Tema, Michel Camp actually. And my father was at that time in the Ghanaian army. And I went to school, services primary, so that was the early parts of my school. And then during the time that I was growing up, I was kind of a very curious child because I was interested in everything from music to politics, to religion, So I used that early period to really kind of, sponge everything that I could see happening within the barracks. And that was also during the time of when Jerry Rawlings, whole Jerry Rawlings movement thing, started. So being a child of the barracks.
At the barracks?
Yeah.
What exactly do you remember from that moment?
Oh, yeah, I remember the first one, the first coup that, I think that was the May 15th one. I remember us, just little kids, our fathers coming back home and said there's some problems going on. And there was like a lot of, jets that were flying over the barracks. And then they came to give all of us like, if there's any trouble, you hear anything, those like all these huge gutters, everybody should run into the gutter and then kind of hide themselves in there, So
that's what they told you.
Yeah. Parents, every soldier was going to their family and trying to give you the orders as to how to, how to deal with the crisis, because people didn't have like an idea as to what was going on, but there was definitely something going on that was between the higher ranks in the military and then also the lower ranks in the military, So, I was there when and then during the 79s, time to, in the barracks growing up and seeing all of that. But I think all of that situation also instilled in me a sense of appreciation for when it comes to focusing on social issues. It kind of really ignited that empathic aspect of me. So it became an integral part of my music. I wanted to be a musician because that was what I found that was my given gifts. But then I wanted to be a musician too who could utilize that platform to articulate the things that I experience and also the things that I observed. And I think in the long run, that growing up with those dimensions helped me to become not only a musician, but also my other stature.
Like a social advocate.
Yeah, and then also, all the work that I've done, currently I'm a United Nations Goodwill Ambassador for Africa, for environment and then also serving on various UN and also other global organizations. I think it gave me the ability to be able to walk through different doors and also engage on different platforms. I think that has made me richer as a person in general.
How did you settle on music? Because you've indicated that at the beginning you were trying to find yourself and you're trying to you found yourself interested in different things, including music. How did you settle on music?
Well, music was always a part of me. All of us, when you're born, I think there's something that you gravitate towards. And to some extent, I feel that, our educational system, one way or the other, it helps nurture it, but at the same time, too, sometimes it stands in the way of being able to expressively become what you feel that you are meant to be, So when I was interested in music, I wanted to do music and all of that. Obviously, there was a lot of, push from different areas, okay, you want to be a musician, but, go to school, finish school. Maybe you want to be a doctor. Maybe you don't want to be a musician. It's just something that is a passing thing, because there was also the societal thing whereby being a musician was not seen as something that could be a
full-time job.
Yeah, like a job, because everybody wanted, parents were investing money in school, so they wanted to be sure that you are learning something that to some extent will position you to receive a certain job, So, but, I was a free-spirited, child, and the music never left me. I always did it, and my parents just saw that there was nothing that they could do about it, so they supported me and encouraged me. But one important thing was for me to be able to acquire, really educate myself to the highest level, because they were like, you can do music and become a musician, but you want to be that musician too that has the intellectual ability to be able to express himself. And in that case, you win double, So
I believe in that completely, absolutely. So you moved back with your family to Ghana?
Yes.
From Los Angeles? Why?
I've been well, I moved back a while ago, and the thing is that I've always been halfway living in Ghana and also in the United States. I spent half the time here, half the time over there, and then at a certain time too, I felt the need that whatever I wanted to go and learn and be exposed to in the Americas and around the world, I've acquired that insight and know-how, and it was time for me to be part of what the emerging Ghana is, and also the emerging Africa, to contribute my quota to our national development through whatever experiences that I've gained, which I feel that it's also like everybody, you traveling is an important, because when you're younger and stuff, you want to learn, you want to see places, you want to know how things are. But when you acquire the knowledge, it's important for you to come to and become part of the process of where you're from,
Okay.
So
where are you now? As in, where are you based in Ghana?
Or should I give my coded location?
Well, from what I know, it's not so coded. I mean,
it's pretty public knowledge.
Yes, it is.
I spent a lot of time in Koforidua, a lot of time in Eburi, and then also a lot of time in the northern region. In my my village of Bumbon. So I try to enjoy the the natural, cultural, and richness of Ghana, and I like to travel a lot too. I'm constantly traveling.
I see. Let's talk a little bit about the northern region. I've covered northern region for quite some time. Unfortunately, I've been covering sad, sad stories of. It's an area that has so much to give.
Yes.
Yet, it's also an area that has much of the poor populace. And unfortunately, you add a little bit of conflict to that, and it's a whole different ballgame. What do you make of how far we have come? I mean, in these times, and I'm excited about Dagbon and about the peace processes that when I covered the coronation, apart from that, I've covered Trepone as well. So
yes,
it's been pretty stable, if you want to put it that way. Yes. I'm wondering what your thoughts are and about how we can keep this stability we've been able to achieve. What can we do to keep it going?
Well, you know, the northern region is, and you know, and just not to correct you, but also to, I don't really see the north as poor. I don't see, you know, traditional culture and traditional living as poverty.
No, it's the statistics that point to that.
Yeah,
and
I mean, you know,
because of the conflict, you know, it's become the residue of the conflict.
Yeah, conflict situations exacerbates, you know, sometimes.
Not that the people themselves are poor.
Yes,
but it's a situation and the effect.
Yes, the effects. Yeah, those can be a byproduct of, you know, conflict, you know. Yes. But, you know, the thing is that the northern region has always held the promise for a great promise for our country, you know, and I think that was something that even our founding father, like Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, saw that, you know, saw that vision for a long period of time. Because if we are creating a perfect union, you know, the perfect union means that we have to spread development and also national attention equally, you know, all around the country. That's how we are able to shore up our country and then come out as a united whole, you know. And I think that Kwame Nkrumah saw that. And he also saw the northern region being like a very important part of Ghana in terms of supply of food. You know, the northern region, because it was the agriculture was one of the main vocations there. A lot of the food of the country was produced over there.
It is.
You know, and food is the foundation of every economy, of every society. So if you don't have enough food, you know, you can't build any kind of society upon it. So the northern region has been a huge contributing factor to national development all of that time. And I think Kwame Nkrumah also saw that when we were introducing a lot of, like, let's say, Western education, the northern region was, to some extent, because of geography and all of that, to some extent didn't have an equal opportunity to experience, you know, when it comes to investment, when it comes to education. And so Kwame Nkrumah introduced the free education thing, which now has become something that is of a national thing. But he had a vision to introduce that in the northern region at an early stage, and helped, you know, really educate a lot of, you know, Northerners who have become the foundation of all the economic prosperity that is happening over there. But, you know, the conflicts are also a product of, you know, sometimes pre-existing, you know, tribal misunderstandings, cultural misunderstandings. And some of them, I think, need for us to go back onto the drawing board, because and be able to look deeply at the sources of conflicts, you know, the importance of land issues and all of that. And you can see that all these conflicts, those are the ignition points. So maybe there needs to be a way to now, you know, organize a bigger conference, a peace conference. But peace conference does not necessarily mean only peace, like, you know, talking about peace, but going deeply into the fundamentals and the root causes of all these conflicts, and trying to find a way for people to talk about and build that union. Because in the north, when you find out that all the cultures and tribes, they're the same, the languages are the same, the people are the same, they intermarry, it's all the same people. But when you have sometimes these issues, they can become wedge issues that become exploited. Or sometimes a little ignition from something else, you know, raises up tempers, and by the time everyone knows, people are at each other's throat and they are fighting. But then, looking at what is going on right now, there is a sea of calmness and a sea of also peace and stability that the area is enjoying. Also, I think it also has its roots in the solution that came out of the Dagbon, because that was such an issue for the whole of the northern region. It casts, a dark light on the whole of the northern region when the conflict was going on, because everywhere you go, everybody was pointing to that. But now we've been able to have peaceful resolution of it. And I think in that sense too, we have Ayana right now there who is also, so that stability also has helped also shore up and also provided the opportunity for also all the other conflicts now for people to feel that, okay, this is a wind of change that is going on.
There's something to learn from.
Something to learn from, because it's through stability that we can be able to amplify economic development.
So you're back now, and I'm at the time that I was covering the wave of change that was happening in Dagbon. One of the key things that came up was that there was the need to invest in education.
Yes.
There was a proposal that we should look at a scholarship scheme that support young people, especially because the thing is that if the young people do not have anything to do, then you give them a very good excuse to begin to be a part of a conflict if it begins. What role do you think a Rocky Dawuni, with all the leverage that you've gained over the years, can bring to bear on this process?
Well, first of all, even to get to that point, I think that we are in a very changed world right now.
True.
Everywhere around the world, from United States to countries in Africa to Ghana to northern region, we are all dealing with a crisis right now, and that crisis, to some extent, too, has resulted in the breaking down of a lot of people's livelihood because of all the lockdowns that have happened. A lot of people's businesses, because most of our economies are supported through the informal sector. And so the informal sector, which is 70% of our economy, has totally been raised right now. So there is an importance of introduction of, shall I say, an aggressive training and equipping people with skills.
Okay.
So education is something that plays the long-term role, so there's the need to invest in education. But in the immediate, I feel that because we are a youthful country and also a youthful continent, there has to be aggressive, equipping of the youth with the skill set, especially in the agro sector. Agro sector is the biggest employer, and within the agro sector, you have so many levels of the value chain that we could totally focus and empower the young people so they they have a skill set to help our national development.
Yeah.
Because I see that with what is going on, the biggest challenge is not going to be the issue of a virus. The biggest challenge is going to be the issue of poverty, the issue of scarcity of food, because not that many people and many countries are producing right now. And
you're talking about COVID-19?
Yeah, I'm talking of COVID-19. I'm talking of its impact on whatever we're talking about has an impact right now. And the impact is not necessarily localized. It's a global impact that is being distilled right to the roots of everything.
Right.
So when I'm talking about, the northern region, the youth of northern region, I have to see it also in a bigger sense that we need to address the issue of equipping the youth with the right skill set, right education. And in the northern region, I feel that, instead of right now, every young person thinking that their path to riches has to be gaming or, going to gamble or something, which you find like some of the young people feel that that's the quick way. We have to be able to change the mindset, resetting the mindset of young people to know that there is, when you acquire a skill set, is something that can help you be able to make a
How can
living.
we do that? I mean, how do we begin to do that?
First of all, it requires national policy. It requires also contribution. People like me are putting my attention on it.
Okay, so tell us a bit about your ideas or the intentions that you have, for example.
I'm working on my foundation. We have a big tree planting initiative that is going on there that is going to totally engage a lot of the youth, in the northern region. I'm also working on, it's not all the things that I'm talking about that I can totally
you want to talk about it.
Yeah, but I'm also working on, we need to start various businesses, like, beekeeping, which is a very easy thing to launch, but at the same time, in terms of the value of what we could get, if we turn ourselves into a country that produces like honey, high grade honey. There's also all this from populars, all the stuff that's used in the medical world is also something that you can create micro businesses out of all of that. So we should look at interventions that are not too capital intensive, but at the same time can be very transformative on the community level. And that's what I'm looking at. And I think that leadership also should look at that. And then the thing is, it's not about having a vision and having ideas, but it's also about the implementation and staying the course to make sure that those interventions bear fruit, and in the long run, they empower the people that we're supposed to empower to contribute their due quota to our national development.
Okay, so one of your very popular songs is in Ghana. We'll see if we can. Just a little bit of network challenges here and there, but we'll see if we can drop the music. But the WhatsApp number is there, right there on your screen. I want you to send me a question if you do have one for Rocky Dawuni. Maybe something you've known him over the years. It's something that's always been on your mind. You've wanted to ask. This is your rare opportunity to do so. Send me a message whilst we drop that song. It's really nice to have a musician sit back and look at his own music. And what was going through your head when you were watching the video?
Song, it takes me back, it's memories, and also it's amazing when you write a song to express your love for your country, and then that song also becomes the song that launches you to a global audience. Was
this the one that did it for you?
This song was the song that literally broke and opened the gates for me globally, and brought attention to who I am, and then also was a catalyst for really my.
And I'm looking at the video, and this looks like a pretty low budget video.
But that time, this was a hit. It was a hit, It was a hit, But now you look at it.
So where is this? Where's the location?
This was all. No. This was in Labadi area.
Oh, wow.
This was all shot in Labadi area by the beach, and I'm sure all those kids right now are national leaders. Because it was also capturing a moment and a spirit, that, Ghana, first country to be independent, Ghana also a country that has also been able to champion the rule of law when it comes to Africa, in terms of our democratic system that we've been able to create here, that has become something that the rest of Africa looks, it's inspired by. Whatever, our issues that we go through the courts and use the due process to solve it. And even the current, what we're going through right now, we're working through the courts and all of that. And I believe that is what strengthens, our union. Because in the long run, it's not a matter of, division. We don't have to aspire to be a divided nation, because then we are working against each other. The importance of democracy, at least the one that we are going to incept in Africa, is that it has to be a stepping stone towards us forging a better union for our development and for our advancement. Okay,
let's go back to your video and talk a little bit more about it. You were saying this, I was saying this looks pretty low budget. Looks like you took a camera there.
It was actually a high-end camera at that time.
Let me tell us a little bit about putting this video together.
Yes. Well, it was directed by Sam Maton, who at that time was actually the head of camera for Metro TV when we first deregulated
the media.
Okay. Metro TV was aligned with GBC.
Okay.
And they had the best cameras and stuff. So Sam Maton, who was actually one of the top cameramen, used some of the best cameras that he had at that time and shot this
To
video.
shoot this video.
So you know, and then the thing is that this video, I was trying to also show the everyday life of Ghana.
Yeah.
You know? The thing is, you pay homage to where you come from by showing life as it's lived every day, and the joy among people, the joy of waking up in the morning, the joy of walking the street, the joy of meeting family, and just going about everyday life. You know?
Interesting. Yeah. We'll try and find out your latest project, which you're working on. Maybe you want to tell us a little bit about that and how it compares to this particular.
Well, it's been a long and an incredibly fruitful and long journey since this album was released, which was Crusade. Since Crusade, I released Awakening, and then after Awakening, another album called Book of Changes, and Book of Changes was when I also started getting licensed into a lot of TV and also video games, FIFA video games and all of that, you know. So that was when also the international aspect of my music in terms of being programmed in high-level TV shows around the world started happening, and also pushing my name out there. And then afterwards, it was Hymns for the Rebel Soul, which was nominated for an NAACP Image Award for Best World Music Album. Most people don't even know about this.
About that one.
Everybody thinks about that. The Grammy just came out of the blue. But because of that, there was, before that, there was Hymns for the Rebel Soul that received that nomination. So that nomination also pushed me and my profile and my music onto a very high level and set the stage up for Branches of the Same Tree. And when Branches was released, that was nominated for a Grammy. And then post Branches was Beats of Zion, and then now the EP Voice of Bumbong. Voice of Bumbong was a record that I felt that in the times in which we're living. When the lockdown, and a thing that I observed was that when the lockdown happened, especially in Ghana, what I saw that on a few days before that, I saw people, like everybody, fleeing Accra and the capital cities. Seeing like, everybody was leaving. People with vans, private cars with goats and whatever, bags of rice or whatever. Everybody was leaving the city and heading to their traditional villages and the traditional homes and to their family settings. And something that dawned on me was that when we are confronted with a certain crisis like that, the first thing that comes to our mind is our where we're from, our people, our family, and also for me there was a need to also bring to attention the importance of our traditional culture. And how our traditional culture can be a key to the issue that we are confronting right now. Because when you look right now, most of us, our diets have changed. Through modern embracing of modern ways of living, we're not utilizing a lot of the traditional foods that used to be part of building our immunity and being food as medicine for us. And we've lost all of that. And then now too, there's a lot of, usage of, genetically modified foods, a lot of pesticides in our food and all of that. So
you're not for GMOs?
The wholesome, it's not whether be or for. I'm talking about our food system changing.
How it has changed.
It's changed. So that has also impacted our immune systems. And I feel that we need to start looking deeply at some of the traditional medicines and remedies that were part of our culture that kept us always healthy, especially when you are dealing with an issue too that is mainly due to depression of our immune system
like COVID-19.
Like COVID-19, and it's not going to be the first and the last. So to put ourselves in a way that we can be able to deal with future issues, we have to work on transforming our food system, and it's all due to going back,
going back to the roots.
Yeah, go back to I was pushing for like.
Is that what the new project is about? Maybe.
Yeah. It's cultural. Pushing embracing our traditional culture at the same time to our traditional cultural riches of medicine, food, and all of those things that we've relinquished, but it's also the source of nutrition for us. You know, my thing is just embracing all of that and utilizing that as, you know, our front line. You know, neem tree. You know, I always talk about, you know, people using neem tree as, especially in the system, the issue that we are in right now. You know, people should embrace it as a regular thing in terms of boosting your immune system.
Okay. And I'm just going to take a few messages from our viewers who are watching you, and I'm going to give the preference to those who are texting us from Boom Boom. I've seen a couple. I hope I don't get lost because people send so many messages. Then sometimes I get it just gets lost on me.
Well, because the new album is called Voice of Boom Boom, so
Voice of Boom Boom,
and it's a traditional album. It's an album that embraces so many different styles in order for me to tell the story of that. You know, here I am using contemporary, you know, musical styles, you know, cultural styles. You know, using rhythms from Ghana rhythms from the Wulome style of music, using you know, a new chrome style to high life, traditional high life style, mixing it all in a contemporary way to also let us focus on the richness of who we are and the richness of our culture. Okay,
so this guy is Patrick. Patrick says he's testing from Bumbong. He says the people of Bumbong are currently facing water crisis. Okay, so that's the new video. Okay. The people of Bumbong are currently facing water crisis, incomplete electricity. Patrick is asking Rocky, what can you do to address this through politicians or any other way?
Oh, I think the current crisis in Bumbong is not due to the absence of water. It's due to the breakdown of the current pumping system that has been feeding, you know, the boreholes there that has been feeding the community, and the pumping system that they did some work on it that is broken down, that they currently, my brother who is the chief, I had a conversation with him a few days ago where the elders had...
Oh, so you're a royal.
Yeah. So, you know, Wumbe Dawuni, my older brother, is the chief of Bumbong. And so they are currently working on a solution for that. But, you know, when you go into the dry season, there's always that issue. And Bumbong has sometimes dealt with that, you know. But the problem is being given due diligence and focus. And I think also the assembly and all the political establishment there too around the district are all very aware of it, and everybody is working hard to solve that issue.
Patrick, you got an answer there. So I just take a couple, because I have a few. I just take a couple and then I invite you in to respond to that. This is great interview with Rocky Dawuni, such an intelligent guy. God bless him. Dr. Bright is sending that message from KNUST. This one says, the man is good. He should keep it up. You don't add your name, but thank you for sending in your message as well. Fidaus from Tamale said, Rocky Dawuni has inclined knowledge on all aspects. Hey, has inclined knowledge on all aspects of life. In fact, I wish all artists are deep-minded like you. Well, so quite some thumbs up here coming. Says, wow, this is awesome presentation. Rocky is really doing well in the north now, and he is a mentor to many. God bless you, Hamza Tamale. Rocky, I want you to take note of that. So you talked to us a little bit about, now that you're back home, hopefully to settle, what you can tell us about nurturing the talent and, you know, mentoring people. Because there's also a lot of, we've seen some great musical talent from that part of the world as well. Says, please ask Rocky Dawuni which tribe he is. I am Tampoli from the north. So maybe you want to take, okay, good. Is Rocky married? Okay, he certainly is married, I'm sure. Okay, so people are asking about mentorship, if you have a plan for it in the northern regions. People are asking about, what was that message about again? Which area you come from? He says tribe, so let's say which ethnic group you're from, and then this one is asking whether you're married.
Yes, you know, one of the main things that I feel is important is in terms of youth leadership, you know, focusing on because I feel that our greatest resource It's not the land resource that we have, which we've been blessed with that immensely, but it's a human resource. But human resource has to also be equipped with the opportunity and the ability and the skills to be able to also be successful. So I think that engaging the youth and being able to involve the youth in developmental issues is of primary importance, as at least to our leadership, that should be a prime, because that is the leaders of tomorrow. So if we want to still keep progressing, that means that our investment doesn't have to be forward, but investment has to be with the people who are going to be the carriers of that. So my foundation has been focusing, first of all, we are currently in the process of designing certain programs that will be working with youth leaders, but we're looking at mostly catalytic leaders, like leaders who, when you train, they also become trainers of others.
All right.
Because you can be one man and be able to kind of blanketly, kind of social engineer in such a way that it impacts every sector. You have to choose certain people who show their ability. And then also when it comes
I just want to jump in there because so that we can do a lot more and answer a lot more questions within the time.
Yes.
So those who are asking, a lot more people seem to be interested in which tribe you're from or which ethnic group you're from in the northern region.
It's been such a big question. I'm Kwamba.
Okay.
Kwamba is part of Konkomba.
Okay.
Konkomba tribe. And my family, coming from the chief's family too, a lot of my family is intermarried with every tribe. My family is heavily, there's my family that's married, Dagomba, Mamprusi, different,
So it's a mix.
So that's why sometimes, when, the tribal thing is important to talk about, because it's I want to inspire all Konkomba youth who are there to know that you can work hard. I want to inspire all Dagomba youth who are there to know that you can be able to aspire to your greatness. I want to inspire every Gonja youth, every Dagbon youth, every Frafra youth, every Ashanti youth, every Fanti youth. So for me, I talk about tribe with a sense of gladness, but not as me, because I've seen it being exploited for division.
That's true.
And we can see that the toxicity of that kind of division is what is even playing in a bigger way in America, where, even the political things has become tribes when you look at it, the white supremacists and all of that kind of stuff.
Let's talk a little bit of that. But do you speak Dagbani? They're asking if you speak Dagbani. Okay. So those of you who are asking, he has just answered that question for you.
So for me, we are one tribe as a nation, and I'm a proud Northerner, a proud Ghanaian, a proud African, and a proud black man, So I talk about my tribe, not in terms of saying that, because I'm not a certain tribe, that does not make it valid for a certain tribe, and but it's also about all of us forging that harmonious unity, especially in the northern region, as brothers.
Okay, great. And then let's talk about politics. Let's talk about politics. What do you make of Ghana's politics? Today, we have elected a new leader. We have elected our leaders. We have a president who has retained the seat. Parliament looks very interesting. The NPP and the NDC, they have the same number of representatives there. Yes. This morning, we're seeing a list of President Akufo-Addo's ministerial nominees.
Yes.
What are your thoughts generally about the politics, Ghana's politics, and how far we have come?
I always say that there's no political system that you don't have, especially, when you have to deal with ballot box and people and all of that kind of stuff, there's no perfect system anywhere around the world, and even America, that has always championed, has been like the champion democracy around the world, is also dealing with a real life, awakening of how complex this can be. With that said, we've been very blessed to have the kind of history that we've had, from starting from, our founding fathers, going through an era when it was interrupted by coup d'etats, and then, from all that part to back into democratic system, and then creating democratic system, and then being able to have people from the different political, parties having the opportunity to lead the country and also apply their ideas and their vision for the country, because the vision for Ghana is not only exclusive to one person. That's why sometimes you have all the parties, so that we can have different ideas all helping towards the national development. But the problem that I am seeing, which I think is also the vitriolic aspect of where our politics is getting. By vitriolic aspect, I mean how people are, because of their political affiliations, they are simply intolerant to others who have kind of a different opinion. Even I've seen even artists' careers and, people in, businesses and other people, just because you're branded a certain, belonging to a certain political affiliation, that means you don't get opportunity when your party is not in power, and then another person gets an opportunity. And then, when sometimes I'm talking about it, people tell me, oh, Rocky, yes, they say, I understand all of that, every party is jockeying to be the leader, but in the long run, there is no party that is higher than the aspirations of our people.
The artists who get into politics. I'm saying that because you are an artist.
Yes. I'm coming to that. Okay. I'm coming to that. The thing is that we have to appreciate the stability and peace that we have. Right. And not let, because we're trying to aim towards a perfect union, I'll say aim towards a perfect union, but you can reach our goal of the great Ghana that we want if every time we are fighting against each other, and then one party comes with a great idea, a policy, but then the other party comes and their whole thing is to depress that and also elevate their what their achievements are. We have to figure out a system and create institutions by which there is continuity of vision, and visions that we feel are in the national interest has to also, have continuity. And I feel that when we do that and we work towards each other, and we also understand what democracy means, it doesn't mean that that whole mentality, because there is a national cake. It doesn't belong to individuals. It is to be held and used for the development of all, and it's not something that has to be in the hands of certain individuals. It is for the whole country. So we have to work towards that, or else, we can't compete with others. We can't compete. We have to make ourselves resilient and strong to be able to play a role in the international community and have a voice. And we can't do that when there's a lot of infighting. So that's all I can say about our politics. We are blessed.
I have just 5 minutes.
Yes.
And I'm going to try and box in as many answers as possible.
Actually, we have a premiere too.
Because exactly, yes. And that's what, and we need to do that within 5 minutes. I'm telling you that so that you can give me the answers to the questions. That we can do that as the last thing.
Yes.
The involvement of artists in politics, is that something you support?
Well, it's not a matter of supporting or not supporting.
Do you believe in that?
It's not a matter of believing or not believing. The thing is that everybody has the right to make a decision for themselves. And
if you have the chance to choose a political party, which one will you choose?
Oh, that's a hypothetical question. And I'm not here. I'm not talking of hypothetics right now. The reason why nobody has heard me doing that is because of what the sacredness of how I hold. If you as a Ghanaian, you have a right to belong to any party. And as an artist too, if you have a platform and you choose consciously to, to step into that arena, you have to be ready for what the blowback that comes from that arena. But that does not mean that you cannot exercise your mandate as a Ghanaian to speak freely just because you're an artist. Everybody can do, but, as I say, in everything in life, there's actions and reactions. There's also actions and repercussions. So you have to weigh whatever repercussions are, and if you feel that it's enough to enter that, but that does not mean that we all can't play a meaningful role in the development of our country.
Will you look towards politics sometime?
You say?
Will you look towards politics sometime now that you're back home?
I'm saying hypotheticals.
No, it's okay. Let's deal a little bit in the hypotheticals.
But the thing is that you don't have to become a politician in order to contribute to the development.
But would you like to become a politician if you get the chance to?
Would I like to be a politician? I mean, I'll say that everybody in this country has the ability and opportunity to be involved
in politics.
Not in politics, to be involved in contributing to the development of our country.
Okay.
But the thing is that then politics becomes something that, it becomes like some kind of job. And I think some people, and I think it's become also a thing whereby people feel that politics is a stepping stone too, in terms of enriching themselves. And I feel that when people step into politics, not because of being driven by a sense of leadership, in a sense of also contributing and becoming of service to their people, then the whole plot of that leadership is lost.
Okay.
So it's hard to say politics, then you become like some kind of job thing. If somebody wants to contribute a quota to the nation, I think every Ghanaian, has that opportunity to meaningfully be part of.
Okay, I'm trying to take your thoughts. I'm trying to take your thoughts on the nominee for your sector, the sector minister designate, which is Ibrahim Mohammed Awal, minister designate for tourism, arts, and culture. He's also a Northerner. I don't know how much you know about him, but what are your thoughts? What do you expect?
I have met Minister Awal.
Oh, you have?
Yeah. I've met Minister Awal. He was actually in the last government.
Business development.
Yeah, he was within the business development,
yes.
And even when I was in the northern region not very long ago, I was traveling, in terms of certain projects, and then I was in Tamale, and I met him actually when I was in Tamale. He was on the ground too, working and all of that, So
you know him a little bit.
I know him a little bit.
What do you make of his nomination?
No, one thing I know about him is that he is an incredibly talented, forward-looking person.
So what do you expect of him in this position?
I think it's a very actually, the interesting thing is that I had not even seen that he's the minister designate. But now that I see that he's the minister designate, actually it's exciting. The reason why it's exciting is that because he is a practical. I've sat with him. I've had probably an hour meeting with him in his office about, from the music industry to business to all of that kind of,
I'm running out of time, so I want you to tell me what your expectations are of him in this ministry that concerns you. I think the expectations
would depend on how much musicians and also the creative industry engage with him, and also how much.
But you are an artist. You are an artist,
yes.
So what do you know?
No, I've already said that I think that he's a great choice. I think that he's a great choice because I personally know the man. I know he's a visionary.
Okay.
And I know that he's an open thinking man. Whatever that he is, he needs to know extra about the thing. I know that he's a man that will quickly
do it. All right.
Learn about it. But the opportunity is to have somebody that we can work with, somebody who's proactive and energetic. And I feel that it's also up to all of us to embrace and be active within that sector so that it's successful. Because sometimes we think that success is a matter of somebody coming and then handing us success.
All right.
We have to be part of that success too.
So let's take a look at the latest video. Rocky Dawuni, beautiful people. That's the title of this music?
Yes, yes, yes.
All right, let's wrap up our conversation with what you want Ghanaians to know about this.
Well, the thing is that, this is from the current album, Voice of Bumbon, that is out. So anybody that is listening, please, let's stream, Ghanaians. Now it's streaming. You don't have to buy it. I want people to listen to the album and see how we've really interwoven our cultural and traditional sounds, and then this video was also shot in my hometown of Bumbon, trying to also let people appreciate where they come from, because we all come from somewhere and we are who we are because of where we're from. So be proud of your culture, be proud of your ethnicity.
And this is the first play?
This is the first, this actually
it hasn't played anywhere.
Exclusive snapshot because it's just launching, so this is an exclusive look into Bumbon and beauty of northern life and northern culture and family, and showing that, once we steep our development in our culture and appreciate our culture and put scientific ideas into our culture, I believe that Africa can utilize its power of youth and its power and its resources to write the next chapter of development globally.
So this is Beautiful People. It's already on YouTube, is it?
YouTube, they're YouTube yet too. We're just getting ready to launch it on YouTube. So this is exclusive, exclusive right now,
Okay, so that is a Rocky Dawuni, Beautiful People. Rocky Dawuni, it's such an amazing time we've had. We're so grateful that you came. So many messages we've had here. Lots of people saying they love your music, keeping you up, giving you the thumbs up, saying keep going, we support you. I can't unfortunately read those messages because we ran out of time, but that's the video right there, the latest work he's working on. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.